digging ditches and passing. Be right back with Keaton Shore. All right, we are back again for another episode, Throwin Sliders Podcast, episode 58. Mr. Keaton Shore, Throwin Sliders Podcast is part of the Scrubbin' Tires Media, the number one podcast, racing podcast in Colorado. Thank you all for making that possible, especially our Everweekers. We appreciate you. I'm your host, Brandon Hall, and to my right, Mr. Blair Cooper, driver of the number 32 ASCS Sprint Car. Let's jump right into it. Get you Mr. Keaton Shore on the show. But first, this episode is brought to you by Hoosier of the Rockies. If you're serious about performance, whether that's on the track or off-road, you already know having the right components and having them readily available is crucial. And that's exactly where Hoosier of the Rockies comes in. They are the official Hoosier tire dealer of Colorado, which makes it incredibly convenient for local racers to get the tires and supplies they need without the hassle of waiting or traveling out of state. What really sets them apart, though, is that they're not just your typical brick and mortar shop. They're right there in the action, trackside supporting racers when it counts most. Whether you need fresh tires between sessions or race weekends, fuel to keep you running, or critical components like radius rods, rod ends, wheels, and more, they've got you covered right then and there. Don't have what you're looking for? No problem. They can also order you and your team just about anything they stock in various sizes, colors, and specifications. Just let them know. That kind of support can make or break a race weekend, and it's why so many drivers trust them when it matters most. On top of that, Mark and Samantha Hamilton of Hamilton Motorsports bring real experience and passion to everything they do. They understand the demands of racing because they live it, and they're always ready with the right recommendations to keep you performing at your best. They race, you race, so let's race together. If you're looking to stay competitive and fully supported on or off the track, check out Hoosier of the Rockies and see why racers across the region rely on them. Call 303-632-6360. Visit them on Facebook, Hamilton Motorsports Racing, or stopping by locally in Arvada, Colorado. Hoosier of the Rockies and Hamilton Motorsports, the proud partner of Scrubbin' Tires Media and the Throwin Sliders Podcast. All right. Thank you, Mark and Samantha Hamilton, Hamilton Motorsports, and Hoosier of the Rockies. Appreciate your support as always. Racing season is alive and well, so if you need tires, all the things mentioned in that ad, please give them a call and let them know that we sent you. So welcome to the shore. Welcome to the shore. Welcome to the show. I can't talk tonight, so I'm going to pass to Blair.
No, man. Good to have you, Keaton. Thanks for coming on and doing this.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so a little bit of a interesting background for Mr. Keaton here for those people that, and I'm going to toggle on the comments because they're already rolling in for you. But thank you, Barry. I do need a brighter hat, by the way. I don't think they make one. Anyways, you kind of got a unique background in racing and kind of what you do as your living, as your 9 to 5, so to speak, as we used in the cold intro, digging ditches and passing you-know-whats. So I don't know where you want to begin. I think Blair wanted to start with your motocross career. Is that we can start there?
Yeah,
that's fine.
Do it, because I know a little bit about it, but it's kind of interesting because we see a lot of guys that come from different disciplines of dirt, but Keaton obviously ran some motocross, so maybe you can kind of run us through how that started and how that ended.
Yeah. Well, I grew up racing dirt bikes. I started, I don't know, I was probably 5 or 6. Raced my whole life and had nothing to do with cars at all. And I don't know, 23, 22, I just quit and didn't race nothing for a long time. And then one of my buddies, Blaine, he's like, you should get a car. I'm like, well, I don't know anything about it. Nothing at all, right? And I bought a dwarf car and showed up at Blair's shop and took his old suit and shoes and everything, and we went racing.
Wait, you fit in his driver's suit?
It was a little big, but yeah.
Sure. I was going to say, there's like a 6-inch gap there, and I don't know how much you weigh, Keaton, but 20 pounds there.
I don't think
It
it's that
worked.
much difference, but I'm a little shorter and a little thicker. So by the time it stretched out, it actually fit in pretty good.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. So,
But
How
that's
tall are
actually
you,
how we
Keaton?
met.
yeah, one
He's
of my
gotta be.
buddies was friends with Blair, and he's like, you got to call him. He races those cars, and I called him up, and yeah, I went to his shop within the week, I think,
Mhm.
and got outfitted up and went racing.
There you go. So let's rip your motocross part a little bit as I'm glitching out. Everybody still here? We good?
Yeah,
Maybe not.
we're good. I think we got you. But you good, Keaton?
Yeah, I could see him.
Okay. Well, he'll come back, but he was gonna ask so when you decided to quit, I mean, was it just were you worn out? I mean, had you gone as far as you thought you could go? What kind of led to that?
Well, the last, I don't know, 2 or 3 years, I went down to Texas, and I was kind of a trainer mechanic for a guy, and we just traveled racing all the amateur nationals and lived on the road. And then one night, somebody stole our van with bikes, tools, gear, everything gone. And I was like, well, I guess I'm done doing that,
Mm-hmm.
So I moved back to Colorado and got a job, started just working, and never had a bike since.
Because you were at that time too, you were an electrician, so you just thought time to buckle down, grow up.
Well, I wasn't at that time. And then when I moved back, one of my friends, their dad was an electrician, and he's like, hell, he'll hire you. So I moved back, and I did that for about 10 years. And then when I started the business, I just worked so much. And I said, I got to do something. And that's when Blaine's like, well, you ought to get a race car, go race on the weekends and do something fun. So,
Yeah. Well, that first dwarf car, we kind of talk about that a little bit. It was funny because Keaton, there's a couple stories we'll have to tell, but that first dwarf car, I kind of looked at it and it, I mean, it was fine, but it needed some work. And I remember even the first night you went out, I think I went with you your first night.
yeah,
Pretty sure. And yeah, I
think
did.
so.
And it was funny because right out of the gate, I was like, you never know when you go with a guy. I'd heard you had a little bit of any experience is better than nothing. Obviously, riding dirt bikes, it's a different discipline, but at least you have like what race pace is and everything. But I remember thinking that car was way off. We didn't really know, I don't think we'd even gotten on scales or anything like that. And
Well, and the biggest thing is it looks easy, right? You see these guys go down the track and they make it look easy, and you get out there and I'm like, these guys are just blowing by me. I'm like, how are they going this fast? It blew my mind, and it kind of scared me. I'm like, I said, these guys are no joke. Like, they're moving.
right.
And I almost didn't come back, and then I don't know what happened, but I showed up again to the next race and got a little bit faster and a little bit faster, and then I started doing decent in that car. And then I was like, you know what? It's time to get something nicer. So we sold that car, bought a newer one, a lot better, pro chassis car, and from there we got quite a bit faster in that car.
Yeah, I was lucky. I remember you could kind of see the transition because I remember even talking with, other guys. I'm like, well, he can drive, I think, a little bit better car and a few other things. And it was like, there was probably one night when the track was pretty tacky early. And I just remember you were that was the first time, like, you could see the confidence building. I was like, I'm just going to try to hold this thing to the boards and go around. And there was a couple guys you were chasing, like Tip and Billy, or, there was a few others at the time. And it was like, dang, you from, running even mid pack with that other car to all of a sudden it was just like to the front, top 3, top 5. And I remember just seeing that when you're like, I can run with these guys and I think I can start beating these guys. We just need to figure it out. And it seemed like it was pretty quick, honestly, because what year was that? That was like 2021 or 2?
Probably 22. And back then there was 17, 20 dwarf cars every weekend, and the top 10 was fast. I mean, they were all fast. So even to get top 5, it was it was good. I mean, you had to be on it and hit the setup and everything, and we raced. I think we raced I don't think we had the green car the full season, did I? I think I was about. I think it was about halfway through.
Yeah, I think you started being. I think you could start going fast enough to tell that there were limitations there, stuff that needed to be done.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't consistent. We'd get a setup and it'd be good for 3 laps, and then it just wouldn't hold a setup. It wasn't. It was a homemade car. It wasn't there. Yeah. And then
it's a good starter.
Yeah. I mean, you got to learn somewhere.
For those that don't know, Keaton put me in the car one night. Actually, that trophy's back here somewhere. It's the little guy, but he tried to kill me. So for those, I thought we were friends. I get in the car and it was just a mechanics race. And so I go out there and I never driven a dwarf car. I've driven the Legends and stuff, but I'm like, well, for one, it's kind of not fair. I didn't feel great about it because it's all guys that really, I don't think anybody else had ever even raced. And so I go out there and I'm turning laps and I'm like, this car is, I hate dwarf cars. I was like, this is the worst thing I've ever driven. This car won't do it. I tell it to. I mean, I'm stabbing the brake and it almost hit I almost hit the fence once. I hit the brake pretty hard getting down in there and went straight to the wall. Well, come to find out, I come back in and I think you put the car up to wash it the next day or something. And Keaton sends me a picture and the chassis broke right on it was like under the shock tower or something. It had split. Well,
it had been broke for like half that, a while, like a month, I think. And I don't remember what happened or why it was broke, but yeah, it was broke. I mean, we still ran it until I saw it, but yeah, it was not good.
Keaton's maintenance has improved drastically over the years.
And like I said, I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, my buddy Brett, he raced, he started a year before I did. So he knew a little bit back then too. So he helped me set it up. And I mean, it was all just, we didn't know anything. We just showed up to the race. And there's a lot to know about setup and the feel of the car, to know what it's doing, to tell somebody what it's doing. I mean, there's a lot to it. It's not just get in the car and turn left,
Mm-hmm.
Were you getting into his big wreck that we all saw on social media, or did we?
No, we haven't even got there yet. So that's kind of the last transition. So yeah, if you want to tell us a little bit about that, that was a good. I was actually there for that one too.
The second season was the full season in the better car, and I actually won the Dwarf Championship that year. So over
Where's
that
the
winter,
trophy?
It's somewhere, I don't know.
Brand new, not in the background.
Brand new engine built. I mean, put the engine in the car. First race out, like, I don't know, 4 laps in, I coming into one at Honor Speedway, and the axle snapped, and I just went flying. Destroyed the car. I mean, the chassis was bent to hell and cracked everywhere, and it shouldn't have done that anyways, but destroyed. And I was like, well, there's a lot of money down the drain, and I didn't know if I was going to get another car or not because, I had a lot of money in there, and I mean, pretty much did it all myself. There's nobody throwing money at me. So I was kind of discouraged and took the rest of that season off. And then the next season comes around, which was last year. And I was like, I'm just going to get another car. So I bought a sport mod. And yeah, bought that car. Oh, I think it was actually exactly a year to the date that I wrecked is when my first race back was with the new car.
Was 76 your first race in it or second? Because you just come from somewhere.
Yeah, I think
Pueblo.
Pueblo was my first race in it. Yeah. And then I think the second race was that 4th of July weekend, and I actually won both nights there somehow. I think Barry was slacking or something, but I don't know where he was, but he was in front of me.
There we go. Give it back to him.
Then, he was coming. I remember that first night.
Yeah, and something happened to his car, but yeah, we won those two, and then I think I-76 was and we had no setup on the car. We just got it, and I learned the dwarf car, but I still didn't know sport mods, and they don't set up the same. So
yeah,
came a long ways. That year, but last year was good building year, and over the winter we went through the whole car, and it's not the same car. It's a lot better. So.
Barry is on one tonight. That's good stuff.
Said he didn't have the money to protest your ass for the win. It was kind of funny though. Oh, go ahead, Brent. I was just going to say it was kind of funny because that was like, obviously if I'm not racing, Keaton and I, we got to be friends after all this. And so I always like to go, and either of us, I mean, he didn't know shit about sport mods, but kind of all basic principles apply to a lot of things. But the sport mods wanting to get hiked up on the right side is kind of foreign to me. So we kind of went with the wingless sprint car route. I'm like, well, if we're free off, we're going to load up on that sucker and do a few different things. And man, we did some funky adjustments, and we're like, it doesn't even look right, but it was funny that he could get it through the corner. It was a kind of a bear going in, but he could lay on that thing from the apex, like dead center of the corner, and that thing would come out like a missile. And it was, and
that car was so bad. I mean, when we got it, like the right shock, like it would just, the spring mount was going into the tire, popped my tire. Like it just wasn't where it was supposed to be. And I didn't know. I mean, we didn't know. We just got the car. We're taking it out racing, there was a lot wrong. We were trying to work around that actually, to make it even drivable for the race. So we tried some weird stuff.
Yeah. Well, I remember at 76, that was a hell of a show. Because I don't remember, you were like mid pack and like every lap you were passing people and digging. You could tell like you were battling the car. I think from what I recall, it looked tight, but like you were just laying it in there, and it was really cool because that was like one of my first times, other than watching, Blaine and then back in 2023 in between, the outlaw kart races and stuff. And that was my first time like sitting down and actually watching like a full live lap to lap mod race. And that was cool. Those things are a different animal from like anything else. I mean, probably similar to a late model, but obviously we don't get to see those run too much, but very, very cool car.
Yeah. They're different.
So I was just going to say, fast forwarding to this year, is that a completely new car or same one?
No, it's the same chassis. We completely took it down and changed a lot of stuff and fixed a lot of things that wasn't in the right spots and just made it, easier to work on. Just new bolts, a lot of new stuff and new body, and it's fixed some stuff that was bent. So it handles a lot better. It doesn't feel so tight all the time.
Gotcha. Go ahead, Blair. I stepped on you.
Oh, no. I just started thinking when you were saying that, I was just going to tease Keaton. I see all the comments here. I was just going to say, it's funny too going with Keaton to the races because obviously I'm married and stuff. But man, if you're going by Keaton's trailer, there's just, they get the look. I'm like, oh, shit, if that thing's a rocking, don't come a knocking. You know what I mean? So I'll be out there setting tires and shit on that thing. And it's like, oh, boy.
It's like Tim Richmond over there just... good stuff.
Yeah.
So let's talk about and I apologize for the internet connection issue on my end, but you guys didn't go into the dirt works, did you?
No.
All right, let's get into that. So I work in construction as well, so obviously I'm like very interested in that. And you and I have chatted, Keaton, at the track, but tell us about that, like how that started, all that good stuff.
So yeah, I was an electrician for, I don't know, 9 or 10 years, and I just started hating it. So I quit, and I didn't know what I was going to do. And there was guys around town hauling, material, pea gravel, road base, stuff like that with dump trailers. And I just was like, I'm going to do that. They're making more money than I am, working a 9 to 5 or 8 to 5 job. So I started doing that, and then it kind of grew to like skid work and landscaping. And then it just keeps growing now to like a lot more excavation and, sewer lines, septics, tank change outs, stuff like that.
So is it just you, or do you have a crew, or what's the deal?
It's usually just me. I've got a few people, I can call if I need help, or, in the summer times it's 2 or 3 guys. Yeah.
Sure. Wow. Doing a whole gig by yourself. That's crazy.
Yep.
Do you think that's helped you read dirt? Sorry, Brandon, but like actually understand
way better question than I had. So let's
for the racetrack, because we always hear like track prep. They're like, oh, a farmer did it tonight, when the track's like just
I don't think that does. I mean, growing up with dirt bikes, yeah, because you're every track's a different type of soil and dirt, and if you watch Supercross on TV, all you hear them talking about is the dirt crew, and the dirt's going to hold moisture, and the dirt this and the dirt that, and the ruts, and that I would say, yeah, as far as but not working in dirt. I mean, you can tell when dirt's good,
yeah,
but. And heck, sometimes I still don't know. I'm like, that's going to be slick. And Blair's like, nope, there's moisture. I'm like, yeah.
Sometimes it's just like results from places you've been a lot. Like that's one thing, we were actually talking about that with California. It's like, there's sand in a lot of those places, so they can water it. And then by the end of the night, it's not super dusty like it gets here sometimes, but it's sandy and it's not going to hold unless you're like Tulare up against, it's pushing the cushions straight to the wall. But a lot of those guys have to deal with that. And I'm sure with the dirt bikes, it's the same thing. So you kind of get an idea on where you're going, or if you've seen the bikes.
With bikes, they'll till it 2 foot deep.
Jeez.
So that's
what's
where the ruts come from. Just loamy dirt in the ruts. That's where you get ruts in the corners and stuff like that. And if it keeps it from being just hard packed like a racetrack. If it was like,
so is that better?
Oh yeah. I mean, you can't turn a dirt bike around Honor Speedway. It'd be like slit, like it'd be like the
flat track.
The flat track, and yeah. So you make it deep in ruts, and yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. And we kind of I cut out there when you were just getting into that. So obviously, sorry for those who have to hear it twice, but I'm curious because I grew up kind of like in motocross, and I was never had big enough balls to actually go do it. But like, did you? obviously you probably said it, but like how far did you race competitively, or are you just messing around, or did you get into it and then got out of it?
I
Or
raced,
what's the deal?
I raced pretty hard. I would say from probably 8 to 10 to 20. I raced pretty hard.
Okay.
And then the last couple of years I was a trainer and mechanic for a national guy, amateur national guy, and we traveled and I rode every day. I didn't
Sure.
race many of the big ones. I would race here and there, but we traveled everywhere. I mean, we were on the road traveling weekly, you know, so.
Yeah. So I guess compared to the grind of like racing a full-bodied stock car or something like that, like what are the differences? What are the similarities? Is it the same kind of circus every week, or
Well, you're in a
more
cage, so you're a lot
controlled chaos?
safer. You're a lot safer. I mean, as far as that
Yeah.
goes, you don't, if you wreck, you're not hitting your head on the
Mm.
ground or breaking collarbones or,
Sure.
you know, it's a lot. I mean, you do get hurt in a race car, yes, but it's a lot safer.
Yeah. But like as far as like the traveling logistics with your crew, obviously you were the mechanic. So is it like, I feel like when you watch a supercross race or a motocross race, even like those crews are so dialed in, and the driver is completely, or the rider is completely like out of the picture. Like when he puts it back on the stand, he's gone. Like
Well,
there's
that's the top tier professionals, you know. I mean, the privateer
Right.
guys and the lower class guys, they're involved because they can't afford the mechanics or the,
Sure.
you know, they're traveling in vans. They're not traveling in
Mhm.
semis.
Right.
But it's the same concept. I mean, guys are traveling, you know, getting stuff ready all week and traveling on the weekends and stuff like that. But I mean, we were traveling 20 hours across the country, like not just to
Jeez.
Callahan, you know.
Yeah. Who's your favorite pick, or your driver, I guess I should say? Like, why do I keep saying driver? Race? What do you call him? Rider?
Rider,
I don't know.
yeah.
Rider.
Rider?
Yeah. Probably Tomac. Probably Eli Tomac.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he's from
He's
Colorado.
he's raised some controversy over the last couple of years.
Yeah. No, he's from Colorado, and I mean, I seen him growing up. He's a few years younger than me, so I was always not in his class, but I grew up watching him around here, you know.
I had no idea he was from here. That never dawned on me.
He's from
It's all about, oh shit. It's all about the Danger Boy Deegan nowadays.
Yeah.
And the guy, what's the guy that wears the cowboy hat? Starts with a P.
Plessinger.
Yeah, there you go. He seems cool.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry to get off on the dirt bike rant again.
No, I'm actually just curious too. While we're still on it, tear-offs is probably my least part of dirt racing.
What'd you say?
The worst part of dirt racing. The worst part of dirt racing, but
that's going to be a real
on asphalt. You don't have to jack with any of that. But how do dirt bike tear-offs work on the goggles? Like, do you pull them
exactly
just the same? Okay. Well,
and they were shaped differently, obviously, in the goggle.
Right.
They do have a pull. They call them, I think, roll-offs or something. But they just have a string and keep pulling. It just pulls across for like muddy and sand, like sand and rain.
Yeah. Okay. They have I think whatever that system's called for helmets, like racing helmets, non-dirt bike helmets. I can't remember what it's called, but I think that guy invented it from motocross. It's like, I don't know.
Easy tear?
Yeah, whatever it's called. Yeah. And but I don't think it's quite the same as what Keaton's saying, but similar.
I haven't seen any for like the face shield helmets, but I'm sure they're out there.
I know, like off-road stuff, they have auto roll to where you actually just push a button for like Baja or something, but they got 100 or 150 or 200 tear-offs because they might be going 4 hours at a time or something.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure but it's like, I'm not that worried about it. But sometimes if you get tight or balled up in the corner and somebody just flat muds you out, or you pull the whole stack, it's like,
you grab the whole stack. Oh, it sucks. I did that at up at Moscow. We went there last year, and that track was like 6 inches of sand, and I never seen nothing like it, but I pulled the whole stack. And I mean, you were pulling like 3 tear-offs a lap, and I'm sitting here just wiping it and trying to get the little rubber on your gloves to get it, and I couldn't see nothing.
Didn't you do that last year, Blair?
Oh, I've done it 4 times. I had one where I had a crankcase breather on my Lightning that was pushing oil, and we were at Fort Morgan, and it was pushing so much oil, and I was leading, and the sun it was just all the worst things that could happen when you were out of tear-offs. But I was actually counting down, and I'm like, I had 10 for the heat race on, and I got a couple mudded up, and then it started I could see the oil just coming right out of the hood, and I mean, just tailoring me right in the middle of the eyes. Well, then it makes it look like a kaleidoscope because, it's like a prism looking out of there. So I start pulling and counting, and I'm like, shit, 2 left, and we got 3 laps to go. I was trying to just do 1 a lap. And by the time we went through the last one, I'm doing like what Keaton said, and I basically went across blind, but won the heat race. But yeah, oil was weird because like the dirt, at least sometimes it'll dry out in a second if you just let it go. And even leading, I thought, well, no problem there. But the sun on it, you're blind. It's a weird thing about any type of dirt. Like it's just one variable that I would like to see like statistics on how many guys wreck trying to pull tear-offs and touch tires and open wheel stuff. I'm sure it happens everyone. It doesn't seem like I hear them say it a lot, but I know I've been close quite a few times in an
I was going to ask you, Keaton, like, would you rather, do you find it more easier to pull a tear off while you're going across a jump or counter steering in a corner in a stock car?
Probably in the air, because your hand. I mean, you could take your hands off.
Sure.
And you got,
Well, you can. I would never, but yeah.
In the car, you find yourself if you do it in the wrong spot, your wheel it starts to fade a little bit. Especially in the dwarf car because there's no power. I didn't have power steering, so it was
so quick.
Tough, so quick. But like this car has power steering, so it's a little easier to do. But you just got to kind of time it right out of a corner or something. I usually try to get one before you're back on it.
Yeah. I mean, not the same thing, but in the outlaw car, like I remember, I think the whole season, obviously, because there were like 10 lap features or whatever, I think I pulled 2 tear-offs and it was a little spooky, like especially that thing 2 inches off the ground, one little ear in the wall. So like, I commend you guys because I think to Blair's point, that's one thing that people overlook. And you see it, like you see the tear-offs all the time on the track, like if you're actually looking like on the either in person or on the TV. But in my brain going 100 mile an hour when I'm watching something, I'm like, that's like a task in and of itself within the race, like to be doing that multiple times and like chasing someone down. Like more power to you guys. That's another thing that I think
sometimes you'll pull it, it'll come off this post, but not this post, and it's sitting here, flapping
just
on
another
your neck or in your ear, and it's just annoying.
Or the funny one is when you catch another guy's tear off, like if they pull a tatered one and it just sticks like the other way to your visor, and then you go to pull yours, and it's like I had one get stuck like that. I was like, oh shit, and then it was greased up my fingers, and I couldn't get it, and I was like, this is so stupid.
Yeah, that's wild. It would be cool to just have a GoPro on your guys' face just to watch you guys struggle with that lap after lap.
There's a really good video with Caleb Montgomery, those new visor cams. You have to get one, and you can actually see when he's unmudding it. It's really neat, but I don't know. It is a weird variable. And then it's like, then for me, I don't know. I already have a hard enough time driving, and then you add the wing, so you go from tear off to wing slider, and you got to time it all out. I'm like, this is a lot going on when you really, I can't drive to begin with.
Yeah, that's a lot.
At a track like Callahan, it's so short, you don't have time, especially in a sprint car.
Well, according to Barry, if you run up front, you don't need tear-offs. So just
you don't. That's true. Except for we can mud our own tear-offs when we go in the corner with the left front because we got no doors. So Barry, I don't think goes fast enough to throw mud. So that's probably one thing good for him. You know what I mean?
I'm here for it. Keep it coming.
He gets the underside of the deck a little dirty. So I see that car at the end of the night. It's like, you could probably just hit it with a scrub brush.
He gets paint chips on his from all the guys running into him.
That's right. And for everybody watching, Barry, I don't feel bad for you because you started this on the comment earlier. So it's all holds bar here.
We usually in general, rule of life, if Keaton and I weren't friends, I try not to talk to sport mod guys. So that makes it pretty simple. But
we just got all the feuds going right now. Anybody else in the comments want to talk some smack?
But I was going to say, Keaton, we're on the phone a lot and we talk about it and we break down races. Like we watch each other. Like he's been there on nights when I've either struggled or really had good nights. And we kind of get into he's gotten far enough along now. We get into some pretty deep racing stuff, but maybe I would be curious to what you think as far as driving the sport mod. I know we talked a little bit about the nuances of like breaking the car and the sport mod to me seems like it drives a lot different than most conventional race cars. Like your dwarf car, you came up off the corner. What do you think is probably the biggest difference from like a short wheelbase CC car now to how you drive the sport mod? I mean, what does that feel like? Or for guys that maybe have even thought about making that transition, what's it feel like to drive it?
It doesn't spin as easy. I mean, when you kind of set it and go around, sometimes you feel like you're going to go and you just let off the gas and it brings it back. In the dwarf car, you're done. I mean, if you get just an inch too far, you're going around. So that's easier. I mean, it takes more. I feel like the sport mod, I mean, it's more throttle to get it to turn. I mean, once you're set in and going, you got to mash it to keep it around, The power, they're about the same speed. I mean, if you kind of mile per hour, if you kind of did that on the same track, it feels it feels like it's got more power. I mean, it just feels, you feel it kind of more, but
Just the torque.
yeah,
It
and
can get up out of the hole.
it's a lot smoother ride. I mean, as far as that goes, you're in a way bigger car. It's not, you don't feel every bump, and it's not as sketchy if you hit somebody tire to tire.
Yeah. Yeah. So we were talking about it in the pre-show a little bit, and I'm going to put you on the spot here, Keaton, but we were talking with Blaine at I-76 last year. What the hell is it? Because there's 5 different classes of them, or 4? 4 or 5.
A mods and sport mods here.
Right. But in the US, there's 5 classes, give or take.
Probably 4 or 5. Yeah.
So what is the difference? Obviously motor, that's the obvious thing, but you were talking about suspension, and I heard Blaine say something about the C post last year. Like, this shit is confusing for a dummy that don't know mods. So please explain.
And I don't know a whole lot about him. I'm only familiar with this one. I mean, barely for a year, but Barry would know quite a bit more. But yeah, he just changed his car over to a go-kart or something. But I know the motor's different. I know like rear suspension's a lot different. They can run quick changes, stuff like that. We can't run quick changes.
Got it.
The A-mod body, I do know it goes, so your rear sail panel goes from the top of the roof to the back of the deck lid. So that's one easy way to identify.
That's what he was saying.
Sure. That's So that panel, and then obviously, like, if you get to A-mods, then you're talking, full blown. They're not a crate engine anymore, or most of them, I wouldn't assume, stuff like that. But we always joke there's so many modified classes. There needs to be some consolidation, probably.
Yeah, like when I see the roster, I'm like, we got 6 different classes of mods. Like, can we just, and there's 4 or 5 in each class, can we not just let them rip together? But I'm not a promoter, so
it is funny to see them. Like, that was one thing I learned watching these guys a little bit, is like right front down. You can kind of tell when a car's rotating well through the corner, but still has, like, they're going to get in good. I could tell right away on Keaton's or Blaine's or Barry's when they go around, like, the right front of the frame rail, they almost bury the right front as low as they can get it down into the corner without scraping the ground. I mean, I know even Keaton's, when we had probably too soft a spring on the right front or not enough weight jacked in it, it was like that frame rail would just, I know Blaine's for a couple times just bang, bang off the frame rail. I'm like, man, that looks miserable in there. So I don't think they're super finicky. They look like they're pretty stable cars, but there's a few little nuances to them that if you don't get them just right, man, it's like anything else. It gets pretty tough.
Yeah.
Well, it's you can definitely tell when it's not set up. I mean, it wants to push, or you control a lot of it with the throttle. I mean, if it's too tight, you just got to drive it harder, or try to, and if it's way too tight, you just can't. It'll just push. So it's a lot of throttle work in those.
So is that, like, I guess the trajectory, like going from, I guess, dwarfs or something even lesser of a dwarf, like it seems like when kids get to, I mean, obviously Colorado specifically has all these warrior classes and hobby stocks and the 15 different classes they have before you get up to a mod or full blown, lightning sprint or sprint car or whatever. But I guess collectively for the group, like, do we think that is the normal trajectory, going from like the small car up to like a hobby stock or a stock car and then a mod? Or do you think it's more practical to go from the littler stuff straight into a lightning and open wheel? I guess it's preference, but from what Keaton's saying, I think it's, you learn a lot of car control in one of these things, which probably is beneficial before you go full blown open wheel.
Well, a lot of guys, if they're doing the sprint car stuff, they're probably starting in, the 600s and stuff like that, and they're staying open wheel in that, that style of chassis. And hobby stock guys usually go to a stock car. A lot of stock car guys stay in stock cars. This is what they like, what they do. So it's kind of, I think the sport mod guys, I don't know what they really came from. They just kind of started in them or didn't like the stock car or something.
Yeah,
there's a ton of them too. That's like when at Boone in Iowa. I mean, so the class is really popular, but that's also what's kind of unique about it too. You have a V8, but it's also kind of a momentum class depending on where you're at. So it is a rough, like I've said, I think that's probably the roughest class around. I think it's worse than stock cars a lot of nights. So, I mean, because stock car guys, like depending on the class from hobby stock to full blown stock car, like the stock car will actually have more horsepower, compared to the B mod. So they are, I mean, it's tight, and Keaton knows you tear up a lot of shit doing it, but when they get a good show going, I mean, you got guys, it's weird because you're still half open wheel too. I mean, you start touching front tires and bad stuff happens. I mean, Keaton, we've had spindles, tie rods. So it definitely is an aggressive, I always said, geez, I wouldn't really like that a lot of times. They're rough. But
I went through a period last year. I probably went through 15 rims and 15 brand new tires. They just every race tires were popping, and I wasn't happy, but I'm like, that didn't happen in the dwarf cars. We didn't pop tires like that, So there's a lot of rubbing, but they're all the same speed. Not one's that much faster than the other. So you got to move some people sometimes.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's, to Blair's point, I think that's what makes it so cool. Like, obviously, I'm not a mod expert by any means, but like every single one of you, like you could have a brand new body hung on it for any given race, and you better believe that after the whole night there's gonna be tire marks, wrinkled up sheet metal, and that's racing. I mean, I don't want to be paying for it like you are, Keaton, but like that's cool from a spectator's point of view. Like you guys are getting after it, and obviously you can a little bit. Like if Blair tried to do that, people would be upside down, and we don't want that. But like it is I think like when you think grassroots racing, like two of you coming, like synchronized swimming out of the corner, just beating the hell out of each other and still like not wrecking each other. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's close racing.
Yeah.
Sometimes too close, but yeah.
So what's the plan for this year? I mean, we kind of talked a little bit in the pre-show about your schedule, but you've started to travel a little bit more, but where are you headed?
Yeah, this year I'm going to try to do a lot of Kansas stuff, go to Dodge.
Oh yeah. We haven't even gotten to the cool story yet. We're going to say that to the end.
That's not a story.
Oh, it is a very good story.
Yeah, we'll go to Dodge a lot, and then in 2 weeks we're going to Colby runs Friday night and Dodge runs Saturday. So we'll go do a 2-day show travel and like that. Just
wait, Colby has a track?
Mm-hmm.
Nice one.
I had no idea. I've been through there 15 times and had no idea.
Yeah, Goodland does too.
I'll be damned. Maybe I should open my eyes when I'm driving through Kansas.
Yeah,
it's all flat. You can see the track 30 miles away.
That's fair.
I
missed
travel and go race with fast guys and just get faster this year.
Yeah.
We did all the local
so you're just kind of not obviously championship trophy hunting. You're just going to get more competition and
get experience. Just be a better driver with better guys, and you're not going to get that around here to a certain point.
Sure.
So just try to get better.
No shots fired, Barry or anybody, but
well, the road does. Keaton and I talk about that all the time too. And you as I as well, Brandon. I mean, the road makes you better. I mean, seeing different surfaces. If that's the ultimate goal is just to be the best race car driver you can. You get out, see other competition, see how guys are doing things, and I know it's helped me a lot. In fact, I generally do better on the road for some reason. I mean, it's like except for at Pueblo, that's probably statistically my best track. So right out my backyard, but. Yeah, it does. It teaches you a lot, and I don't know. So if people have the money, we always recommend go travel, go see something else.
And we travel a lot. Run a show. In the dwarf car, we were racing 40 times a year for 2 years straight.
Damn.
So it was me and Brett. We'd load up nonstop. We were somewhere every weekend, if not twice a weekend, for April to October.
Before we get into the cool story, and thank you, Terra, mod guys equals synchronized swimmers. It was a good analogy, I thought. What's the cost differential between the dwarfs and the mods?
It just depends on what you want to spend. I mean, you can spend 50, 60,000 on a new dwarf car, and you can spend 50, 60,000 on a new sport mod. Sure.
I mean, I guess in the equipment you had, top notch dwarf car to mid level kind of starting out mod, like has it been like a huge difference or about the same?
Not really. It's about the same. Yeah, I mean, everything's gone up now. Tires, I mean, everything's, you could, a couple of years ago, you could get a dwarf motor for $1,500. Now they're $10,000, just for a motor out of a bike that could blow up. So the benefit, it's better to have, you can get a crate motor for $6,000-7,000, and they're pretty reliable. They're not just going to pop any time,
Yeah. What, if you're not popping tires, what's that like? You going through a set every night, every other night? What's that like?
No, they go for a while, and it depends on the track surface too. I mean, you can run them. There's guys that run them bald. You can do whatever you want, but probably 3-4 sets a year, maybe, if
There you go, Blair. Maybe we should switch.
Oh, I know. I've thought about it. Trust me, but I think if I showed up, those guys would all quit. You know what I mean?
Maybe because they don't want their shit wrecked. Probably.
I do want to drive one at some point, but I don't want to drive Keaton's because I'll wreck it or break something. So that's always the problem. It's like I don't know, but yeah, they look like it's fun. I mean, it's all fun. I mean, I'd drive anything, but yeah, it's funny because nothing's cheap. And like you said, to spend, I always thought that was crazy, but a lot of guys are doing it 50, 60 grand on these full blown sport mod cars. And it's like, just stop. It's just like, stop. It's always funny. Racers, we talk about it on the show all the time, is like, you build something, try to keep costs down, and then they find a way to work around rules to get the cost up, and then you have to do it to compete, and then it's just a never-ending cycle. It's almost like if they just left everything open, it's kind of like what we talk about with the ASCS. It's really not cheaper to have those heads. Now you have to have the heads done. They got a stamp on them, so they got to get as close as they can on tolerances on everything. It drives the price up, and then you got a set of $10,000 heads before you're done, and it's same thing with those, the chassis, and then trying to lighten shit, and it's a vicious circle, but so that's just racing. I think we've come to that conclusion.
Even stock cars, you can spend 50 grand. I mean, it's what you want to spend, and you can have a nice, good car for 20, 25,000, and you can compete. You don't have to have the very special,
Very special. Here we go. He hasn't come. Oh, there he is. 809, the best sport mod driver of all time, left the class. Who's he talking about?
Himself.
Oh. What is? I thought he was still driving one.
He is, but it's B-Mod now.
Talking about
B-Mod.
Probably Randy Eckert's he's talking about.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Randy's not driving him anymore?
He said he was going to retire. I think he raced last weekend, but he's not. I don't think he's going to race much.
I was going to say I saw him last weekend.
Retired means you're completely done. Not.
Well,
anyway.
He said he was. We'll see.
Old circle track guys never retire. They just go drag racing.
I was just about to say, like you hear it like all the time, like, oh, I'm retired, but I'm going to do 3 one-offs. I'm like, well, you're not retired. Like when I retire, I'm not going back to work. Like I'm done. Like I'm not, that's the end of the line. Anyway, we're almost 45 minutes after. Let's get into this story, Barry, that you were telling in the pre-show, and give us the full story, not the shortened version in the pre-show.
Oh yeah. Keaton.
So, well, we went to Dodge this weekend for the
What did I say?
Barry.
Oh,
Jesus.
Same thing. Sport mod guys.
My bad. I had Barry on the brain. Don't take it personal.
Went to Dodge this weekend. Never been there. We tried to go last year a few times and it got canceled. We were halfway there, so we came back. So we went down this weekend for the first time, and the facility's insane. I mean, paved lots, lights everywhere in the pits. I mean, it's a nice facility. Never been there. The track was, I haven't driven a 3/8 mile track in this car yet. So I was, that's a lot faster than Pueblo and Callahan. So we got, I don't know, 3 laps, hot laps. So didn't learn the track much, cars everywhere. Went out for the heat, started third or fourth row outside. Made a few passes early and kind of getting the track figured out. And I think you had to get top 3 because there was a B main. So you had to get top 3 in the heat to make the A main. And I spun for some reason, spun out, went to the back, and then making a pass on another guy, and he drove right into me, spun me out again. So I finished, but I think it was last. So we had to go to the B main, and we're waiting around for a while, I don't know, a couple hours. And we're like, when is this B main going to happen?
Are you going to name drop like you did in the pre-show?
No.
Okay.
We're waiting around. I'm like, when is this B main going to happen? And no, we got time. And B main's on the track. So we missed it. So that was a big bummer, drive all the way there and get 8 laps in a heat race and didn't learn the track. And
I'm trying not to laugh and be serious, but
shit happens.
I wasn't happy. I'm still not happy about it, but it is what it is. We'll go back and learn it next time.
Yeah, I was going to say, what are the lessons learned, Keaton? What did we learn?
You know what he was doing, though? You know why he missed it, truly. You know what was on the track. You know what he had to watch, right? What was he watching? What do you think he was watching? Sprint cars.
Probably.
So, I mean, what's more important? Racing in your own B-main or watching sprint cars? I mean, that's a pretty obvious choice if you ask me. It's a good call. I mean, all in all, that's a pretty good call.
They were 305, so it wasn't like watching, flare race, but close.
How was it? How were the 305s? They getting around pretty good? You said it was pretty slick there, though. See, it's so funny. Every time I've ever been to Dodge, it was freaking hammer down.
Well, they watered the top and the bottom, not the middle. So the middle had,
Mhm.
but it took rubber, and I think the track was a lot better for the mains.
Mhm.
I don't know because I
Well,
wasn't.
I was
out
going to
there.
say, how do you know? Like you,
It looked a lot better. It looked like it came around. I mean, they were flying.
Yeah.
305s, they're not. You watch Blair and you think he's going to fly off the track, coming 200 miles an hour in the corner. They're not like that, but they're fast. I mean,
Mhm.
Mhm. Yeah.
but yeah.
I've never got to see them there. I always just wondered. I mean, I'm sure they're scooting around there pretty good. I would imagine early they're just flat footed too. So
I think they
Just
didn't
imagine.
lift any of them. They were
Yeah.
all just,
Yeah.
yeah.
But you said in the pre-show you're going back there in 2 weeks, so you're 8 laps.
Yeah, we'll go
this
back
last
there.
weekend.
I think the first and second will be back there, so we'll try it again
Nice.
and pay attention better.
So I guess everybody in the comments, if you could send Keaton reminders like during race day, like, hey buddy, you're 15 minutes out. Just blow his phone up. Good
Yeah.
stuff.
And that's the problem.
Oh,
We're constantly doing something, tweaking on it. I don't have
Sure.
my phone. It's and nobody in our whole entire row drove down there. So we're looking around and we're trying to, it's just hectic and it just rookie mistake, but it won't happen.
Were you the only one that missed it, or were there multiple people?
Me and Newt, we both missed it. So
Oh shit. Okay.
Well, and they run a quick show down there too. It's not
Yeah,
like
it
some
is.
places. I mean,
yeah.
they're not jacking around.
And
But you
they're-
didn't have Joe Bellum screaming, "B mods, Amen, you're up."
Well, the speaker, as nice as that facility was, the sound system in the pits was awful.
Really?
You couldn't hear what they were saying, or he was talking before he was pushing the button. I mean, so you couldn't hear what he was saying. So that's not an excuse, but yeah.
I mean,
Do you
it
guys
kind of is.
Do you guys know the story of? I mean, obviously that place being paved pits and everything, because that used to be an asphalt track. Had you
Yeah,
heard
so
about this?
Yeah, I heard a little bit that it was supposed to be a dirt track. The plans showed dirt track.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody snuck some asphalt in there and paved it, and the city wasn't
That is
happy.
Wild.
So
Like, how does that
another
happen?
track, I don't know. And then I heard another track down the road. I'm not sure what the town was. Opened a dirt track, so everybody went there. So then the city had to pay that city to shut their track down to get everybody back to dirt. So it was kind of a big thing back in the day.
I guess I
remember
didn't know
hearing-
the full story on that.
Yeah, and like the people there were so pissed about and this is all kind of rumored or legend. The people there were so pissed they basically boycotted the asphalt track because we had some friends who went down there and raced super late models when it was paved, and this is probably like early 2000s before the new full containment seats where like the headrest is incorporated, and they said that literally it would like taco the headrest on the side of the seat from trying to push through the right side. So it was a wicked asphalt track too, but I just thought that was funny, like a state-of-the-art facility with golf course grass, and then everybody's pissed off that there's not mud on it. I was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
They should do that.
But,
to
like-
forget to put asphalt back in there.
Seriously.
Yeah. I thought that when they made that announcement there was a possibility, but I think that's all but put to bed, unfortunately for us fans. But I was going to ask on that Dodge City deal, did they pave it at night then, or did they do it in broad daylight and just no one said anything? I'm into this.
We have to
now.
look at the history on it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're gonna have to do an episode or something on that. Anyway, yeah. Well,
You want to hit the mountain
Sweet.
ops? Oh, sorry.
yeah, we can do. We
Better
can
not
do the
forget.
mountain ops, and then then we can do. Keaton's got some plugs he wants to give out to some special people. So, with that, mountain ops still going strong here. We appreciate their support. If you guys want to get involved, super easy, 20% off discount, as you'll hear in the ad in a second. It's getting hot. I know I've been getting sunburnt and stuff like that. So for racers, obviously Blair and I swear by the hydrate. It certainly works. And even if you're not a race car driver, just stay hydrated if you don't drink, 2 gallons of water like we're recommended. So anyway, ton of good stuff on there. Go check them out. Support those who support us. We'll give them their 1 minute and 9 seconds of fame here tonight, and then we'll get into Keaton giving his plug. Whether you're chasing checkered flags, chasing elk in the mountains, casting a line, or crushing early morning workouts in the gym, there's one name every high performer should know: Mountain Ops. This team fuels athletes, hunters, racers, and weekend warriors with the cleanest, hardest-hitting supplements on the market. Let's be honest, this sport isn't for the soft. Late nights in the garage, long drives to the track, and hot evenings in the pits and in the car. We are built different. That's why we run on Mountain Ops. Their supplements hit hard, feel clean, and don't have all that junk you can't pronounce. From early mornings to late nights on race day, this is the stuff that keeps the crew moving and ready for the next lap. Want in? Head to mtnops.com, enter code TS Podcast at checkout, and get 20% off your order. That's right, enter code TSPODCAST at checkout for 20% off your order. You don't just want to show up, you want to win. Fuel like you mean it. Winners use Mountain Ops. Proud supporting partner of the Throwin Sliders podcast. There you go. Check it out. Super easy. Appreciate Mountain Ops and everything they do for the show here. All right, Mr. Keaton Shore, the time is yours. I know you're a one-man band, but you got a lot of people behind you, so now is your time to make those folks happy. The microphone is all yours.
Newt helps me out a lot. Newt Motorsports, he works on my car. He does, gives me parts and hooks me up a lot. So without him, I probably wouldn't have gained much speed like I did. But he's a genius on those things. So he's a big one. My pit lizard Brett, he always travels with me and works on the car and keeps the tire pressure where it's supposed to be. And Blair helps me out quite a bit too. So that's about it, really.
Not Shore Dirtworks, nothing.
Well, yeah, they pay for everything, but I don't think they have a choice.
There you go.
I'm holding
money
myself
behind
it.
Yeah, they don't have a choice. So that's if it wasn't for that, I probably couldn't do it anyways. To have the funds behind it. But yeah.
I was going to ask you one last question before we let you go, kind of back to the Dirtworks deal you got going on. When you're at the track, does it ever give you any inclination to go like help prep the track? Like, does that spark your interest or no?
No.
Really? Okay.
I've done a lot of stuff at Honor and stuff, and you try, and there's so many guys trying to do it this way and that way. It's like, you got enough time in the week to work on your car, let alone go to the track for 2 or 3 nights a week and get it watered.
Sure. Yeah.
Brett did that for a long time and it wore him out. So
I bet so.
No, I got enough on my plate to try to keep afloat and keep the car going. So yeah.
Fair enough.
If there was more time, maybe you can have more time to get out there and do stuff, but it's just a time crunch for everything,
Sure. Yeah. Well, fair enough. Well, we appreciate your time, buddy. And I know I have only known you for a year or so, but looking forward to hanging out with you again at the track whenever I make it back. But yeah, good luck to you the rest of the year, and looking forward to following you on social media, and good luck out there, and try to keep the body on it. Would you?
Cool. Thanks.
Right. Thank you.
All right. Yep. Keaton Shore on the Throwin Sliders podcast. All right. What did we have?
They've got a running thing, and that's one thing sport mod guys that they are really good for is packing the track for us, making sure that it's nice and run in. But Barry said that Keaton doesn't even pack, so it's something we're gonna have to keep an eye on if you're a promoter or a race director out there.
Yeah, you got to watch that guy.
Sport mod guys they're out there getting that thing dirty, or you're starting in the back like the song says. So.
Exactly. Yeah, he's too proud to get it dirty. And that's on him. He started that war in the comments. So anyways,
he's
Danny McBride. Hey, Brandon, when you come to the track, Blair, when am I coming to the track? What are the dates?
May 2nd and then the May 11th or something like that. So you can come to Calhoun or Pueblo. We got 2 weeks coming up here. We'll be back on in 2 weeks, and then 2 and 3 weeks. So May 2nd is a Saturday, and then we're in Pueblo the weekend after that, whatever day that is.
Okay.
We'll be back at on.
So yeah, probably one of those 2 weekends, Danny. It'd be good to see you. I haven't seen you in a year, so I'm trying to make one of those. I don't.
May 9th.
Yeah.
I got a funny story if you got a minute.
Yeah.
Kind of anecdotally, but it was just funny for those. You know how we had talked about. I don't know if you and I got to talk about this, but a lot of people were doing a little follow up with my brakes from last week. I know I've been getting a lot of messages and everything about that crushed rotor, and my buddy Kirk Campbell today, he sent me a video, and a guy was showing the exact same problem I had with the same exact rotor, caliper, the whole brake kit. So he said that he had called Willwood, and they'd kind of given him a rectification for the problem. And I thought, well, guess who I'm going to call is Willwood. And they kind of told me the same thing. So as far as what they've told him and what they're starting to tell a lot of guys, so maybe just a little public information for all you sprint car guys out there, I had decided to run the 10.5-inch stainless steel vented slotted rotor, And apparently it's still being produced and manufactured, but it's not necessarily recommended even for a 305 car. It was really a midget brake that they adapted. And I think me, as far as the pursuit of always trying to keep weight down, and then stainless being more economical than titanium and also lighter than just a steel rotor, I thought, well, shit, if they say it works, it probably works. But apparently I'm too, and they said for some guys, if they're one of those guys that doesn't really use brakes, maybe you can get away with it.
Sure.
But I got to talk to a guy, and we're going to have to get him on the show. His name is Jeff at Willwood, and he's an Aussie. And
really?
I've been doing the accent all day. Okay, he's from Oklahomas, and he's like, the brakes, they'll work okay, but
I'll give you $50 if you do a whole episode in that accent.
Oh, I'd like it.
Do it.
I reckon. But yeah, so anyway, I talked to him for 22 minutes, and it was literally one of the best parts of my day. We just went on, and he taught me a lot. So if you are running that 10.5 inch, they do have a recommendation for change, because I'm starting to see more and more of them too. And I'm like, don't throw the money away. So it is adaptable as far as the billet Dynalite narrow caliper will fit the bigger one. So I'm going to switch to an 11 3/4. It's not vented. It's not even slotted really. It's got some grooves in there, but yeah, so I see some of the comments, but anyway, so you can call them up and they will give you the right part numbers. It's funny because even Speedway, like I was like, man, am I just doing something wrong? Why, because it was like we went 8 laps, and he said that even like probably me bedding the pads in got it so hot. And I'm like, Callahan, you know me, like my first year, I don't think I drove with the brake at all. I think a set of pads lasted me like 9 races on steel with like a BP 28. And then like on titanium, if we were in some place slick and I wanted to just kill a set of pads in a night, I'd put on 40s and talk about aggressive with the titanium. But also then you're putting so much heat in the axle. So we had a long conversation. So a lot of technical stuff, maybe you and I can go over another night too.
Yeah, no doubt. It's interesting.
Pretty interesting, but yeah, really funny guy. So if you're having technical issues, he definitely was one to call. He even gave me his cell phone number. I'm like, we're going to be best friends.
He's going to be like, damn it, why did I do that? Just like Rick Lowry last week.
Yeah, oh, I call Rick all the time. I mean, literally, he's like, even after the podcast, he's like, are you seriously calling me again? I was like, we're just talking about analytics, dude. This isn't even so. Right. Yeah, but kind of cool. Yeah. So at least I think we'll have that problem figured out. And I put another rear end in the car. In fact, Hamilton's got rear ends. They're getting all a line on so many different things. So Hamilton Motorsports are getting me some new whips for the brake lines. I just redid it all again. So everything from the crankshaft back is brand new. So torque tube has one race on it, but new drive shaft. I figured if I'm going to go in for a penny, in for a pound. And so my father-in-law, Tom, he came over. I was trying to do, I thought it was kind of funny. The astronauts and stuff.
Happy birthday, cool. Tom, by the way. Happy late birthday.
The astronauts went around the moon and all this shit. And that's pretty cool and a pretty amazing feat. But if you've ever put a rear end in a sprint car by yourself, now you've done something. But I was actually struggling, and Tom came over, and I finally got he helped me push that sucker so I could slam it into the yoke and get the splines lined up. So he saved me probably about 4 hours and a lot of cuss words. But yeah,
it's a strong dude.
So yeah, we got it. It fit. But anyway, that was kind of my end of the show thoughts there. But
that's awesome.
Don't run the tiny one, because if you're like me, now that I use a lot of brake when that place is slick or the car's tight, you'll kill one of those. So
no doubt. Well, there you go. Brake 101 in a sprint car. So that's actually cool. And then definitely we'll have to, never thought about that, getting somebody from a brand manufacturer like that. That'd be really cool. So we'll have to.
Well, and it was so cool because he was like so nonchalant, and they tell you this call is going to be recorded for, kind of like quality assurance. So that tells you what size company Willwood is.
Sure.
And he's on there, and we're exchanging pleasantries and curse words and stuff like that. I'm like, it's pretty cool when you have customer service reps like that. Somebody that actually, and he's been around the business, and he goes Pennsylvania and all that. So Jeff the Aussie. But,
we'll get him on. Definitely.
We're seeing some solid. We talked about solid axles, heat transfer. So we'll do a technical episode.
Sure.
I think they get, like, for the casual fan, everybody just thinks the sprint car side of it is just all gas and wing. But I think probably the best drivers really are good at manipulating the functions of the car with braking. So,
no doubt. And that's why I can't drive one. So, anyway, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you to Keaton Shore for giving us some time tonight. And thank you to all of our amazing partners: Hamilton Motorsports, Hoosier of the Rockies, Mountain Ops. We have been plugging our mailbag I guess to get you guys to lure in, we're going to have to, the first person that goes to our mailbag and drops us a question or something, we can send you a sticker or some mountain ops or something like that, just to get it, going, because it's dormant and we want to hear from you. So the link is in every single episode that we post to our Facebook page physically. It's just a Google Forms link, super easy. I think it has 3 boxes to fill out. And like I said, we want to interact with you guys. And if you have an interesting topic, i.e. brakes, and you want to learn more about them, shoot us a line. I won't be able to tell you anything, but I will definitely ask Blair to explain stuff to you. But utilize that. We want to hear from you. We want to engage more. So link will be headed your way directly after this podcast is over with, the live portion. I'll post that on the page. But kind of excited now that Danny mentioned how close the next race weekend is, that I don't have anything going on. So that's going to be fun. Go help Blair, or lack thereof, I guess. But I'll be there anyway, hopefully. So
that'd be cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't know if anybody's running this weekend, but if you are throughout this region, good luck to you. Keep it rubber side down, and we'll be back again next Monday, 7:30 Mountain. Till next time, keep throwing those sliders. This was another production of Scrubbin' Tires Media. The Throwin' Sliders podcast is hosted by Blair Cooper and Brandon Hall. Video and audio was created by Bryce Holcomb. Please like, share, and leave a 5-star review. And as always, keep throwing those sliders.